Hey pilots, welcome back to the channel. Look what we have here. That's right, we have the new 80mm integral, is how I pronounce it. Fully licensed by Tomahawk Aviation. Very unique looking airplane, you gotta love that. Something different to the market. Good job FMS. You can get it in a couple different colors here. This should be the blue one in the box. This is how it comes packaged. Got a little bit of information there. Here's what's on the, oh, it's upside down. Sorry. It does have some really sweet CNC landing gear on it, which is really cool. It's got a 100 amp ESC, 12 blade, 80mm fan. It's got 13 gram digital metal gear servos, glueless assembly, so it's just going to screw together, which is really handy. Added navigation lights on the wings and taxi light on the bottom. Should be sweet. Alright, enough BSing. Let's get her out of the box and show you what you get. I'm excited to see this. I've never seen one in person. Neither of you. Here we go. First time, first bolt. I have not opened the box yet, as you can tell. Here she is. Right on the top here you have the manual. You can see pretty creative way of packaging it. Look at that sweet landing gear. Looks like you're going to have to add the linkages yourself. Let me cut this tape and we'll get it out. There's a fiberglass spar here. Okay. There's one wing panel. Pretty cool looking scheme. Here you've got a big light here. Tomahawk. Flaps, even the shape of the flaps is really cool. Look at that. Kind of a unique bird-like deal. I'm pretty stoked. Oh, look at that. It's got like some real hinges. What do we got going on in there? If you look at the aileron hinging, it's not, you know, like the usual live foam hinged. It's better. You look here on the end, you got two screws and you have all the plugs, or all the wires are into a plug. Very cool design feature. Okay, here's the other wing. Very nice. Looks like it made it here in great shape. I'm excited to put this together. Here's how the rest of it is in the package. We got some bits in here. Here's some screws and some linkages. QC thing. Pretty creative on the box, not gonna lie. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, your spar. Don't lose that. So here is the horizontal and the elevators. Got kind of a what do you call that? Anhedral. I'm assuming that's the bottom, so they'll be going down. Kind of interesting. Down in here we have the nose cone, big nose cone. Kind of cool. Here we have the vertical and the rudder. Again, looks like it has real hinges. I can't see what's in there, but they don't seem to be foam hinges, which is cool. Connection on the bottom and labeled. And the last thing in here is this fuselage, so let's get that out. Look at that. Got a unique shape to it, doesn't it? The inlets there on the bottom sides. Nose gear retract. There's that light kind of in the center. The fan, you can tell, is toward the back there, a little bit of cheaters. And they've got the plug-ins here for your servos. Everything back here is labeled and nice. Let's check this out. Nice positive latch. Looks like the battery's going to go on a tray up front. Got your connection. Everything here is labeled. ESC is back in here. See the battery tray in the front there. Okay, all right, let me get set up here and get this box out of the way, and we'll get on to the build. All right, guys, so the manual just has you putting on the wings with the spar and 2 screws, putting on the tail with 1, 2, 3 screws, and then putting on the rudder with 3 screws down as well. And plug in your connections. It's really that simple. And the nose cone, it'll just slip right on there. Okay, that's it. I mean, it takes longer for me to record it than it does to do it. So next thing you have to do before you put your linkages on is hook up your receiver, put the battery in, and get all the servos centered, and then we'll put on all the connections. But there we go. Okay, now let's get her bound up. Make sure I don't have the nose gear where if it comes down it'll be a problem. There we go.
Find complete DSMX 22 milliseconds. Telemetry.
There you go. Let's see if I can pick it up here. Gear always reversed every model I ever do. I don't know why it is. Just the way it is. So let me reverse the gear real quick. There we go. Very cool. Lights are looking good. Okay, don't forget, calibrate your ESC. So we'll unplug it, full throttle, plug it back in, wait for the beeps. Nope. There we go. Oh yeah, nice and crisp right at the bottom. Okay, now that all the servos are centered, we're going to start putting on linkages. I'm going to start with the rudder, then we'll flip it over and do everything else. Rudder linkage is on. It says to put it on the farthest outside holes, so that's what we did for both. Moving on to the bottom side. All right, guys, everything's hooked up. So the flaps and the ailerons, you go 1 hole in on the arm, and then you don't have a choice on these because they already have the ball links on them, but these are in. Elevator, top hole. Flash switch. There's the flaps. Show you that sick gear again. Look at that suspension gear. This thing's going to be awesome on grass. Flawless. All right, the only thing left to do now is we're going to set up our throws and check our CG. And then it's going to be time to do a range check and hit the field. Let me get the throw set. Elevator is 14 millimeters for high, 10 millimeters for low. Ailerons, same deal, 14 millimeters up and down for high, 10 for low. Rudder shows 22 and 18, but I usually just go max throw and put expo in it to how I like it to feel. And it doesn't say anything for the flaps. That looks like a decent amount of flap to me, so we're just going to run that with a half. I'm going to slow the servo down so that they're not fast and tie it to flight modes so I can trim it on the maiden flight. I'll get it trimmed in perfectly, and if I ever need to adjust it in a later flight for a different speed or whatever, I can trim it on the fly with flight modes. Check out my video on that. That's the best way to go. So, all right, further ado, get my caliper, get these set, and we'll be back. All right, guys, we got the throws set. I got the dual rates set, I got the flight mode set for the flaps. We've got the battery in and the receiver in place. Here's where that wound up. Receiver, I just foam taped it right into here, into the side. Let me zoom you guys in here. You guys can see it there. And then the battery is in the tray way up forward. So it says 150 to 165 is the CG, I believe. 155 to 165 millimeters. Well, that comes to kind of just a little bit back from this point on each side. You can see I took a punch and put a little punch there at 160. I always just kind of split the difference. So for that, with a 4200 pack, got some older packs. It kind of hangs off the back a little bit. You can see how I've got it. So this is how I'm going to maiden it, and then we'll try the 5 and 5200s later. Once I get the feel of it, we'll start out light and go from there. So hope you guys found that useful. If you got any questions, put them down below. Don't forget, we've got discount codes down below. Save you guys money, makes shipping free, makes a heck of a deal on some pretty sweet airplanes. So appreciate you guys watching this, and next time you see this, we'll be at the field for the maiden. Stay tuned.